Okay, so our devotion for today is from Matthew chapter 15, verses 32 to 38, and I'll read it. Then Jesus called his disciples unto him and said, I have compassion on the multitude, because they continue with me now 3 days, and have nothing to eat, and I will not send them away fasting, lest they faint in the way. And his disciples say unto him, Whence should we have so much bread in the wilderness, as to fill so great a multitude? And Jesus said unto them, How many loaves have ye? And they said, 7, and a few little fishes. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the ground. And he took the 7 loaves and the fishes, and gave thanks, and brake them, and gave to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. And they did all eat, and were filled. And they took up of this broken meat that was left 7 baskets full. And they that did eat were 4,000 men, beside women and children. Nothing is impossible. When you find yourself without options in a situation, take heart and know that God is with you. Nothing is impossible for God. Absolutely nothing. Nothing is impossible. By Chipo, Biti. This is from King James Bible app. Okay. Jesus is an example of what all Christian leaders should aspire to be. It breaks my heart in the age where we are in to see some leaders try and take advantage of their flock through extortionist methods. There are a number of Christian leaders across the world who do not have their congregation's best interests at heart. Instead of caring for their well-being, I have witnessed some leaders attempt to finish money and possessions out of the people who have chosen to follow them. This is a prime example of members of the flock being led by wolves in sheep's clothing. Fortunately, all hope is not lost. God is not blind to what is happening. There will come a time where all works of the enemy will be exposed. Jesus was so concerned about the well-being of the people who had been with him for 3 days. He thought of them before he thought of his own well-being. He did not want to send them away without feeding them because he worried that they would collapse along the way. Please bear in mind that there were over 4,000 people that had followed Jesus for 3 days. To feed them, he would have needed larger amounts of food, but that did not move him. When the disciples expressed their exasperation at the thought of trying to supply such a large crowd with food, Jesus was not moved. He simply asked the disciples about the number of loaves of bread they had. There were only 7 loaves of bread and a few small fish. Jesus did not throw his hands up in the air and declare that all hope was lost. He simply took the loaves of bread and the fish, gave thanks, broke them, and instructed the disciples to share them among the people. Everyone ate until they were satisfied. They didn't just eat enough to get them going. They ate until they were content. There were 7 basketfuls of leftovers. It is accounts like these that should give you comfort and know that with God, everything is always settled. When you find yourself without options in a situation, take heart and know that God is with you. Nothing is impossible for God. Absolutely nothing. Amen.